Welcome back, everyone, to Recruiting Thursday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Jack Ridenour here with you today. And on this edition, I'm joined by current Derry boys golfer and recent St. Francis men's golf commit, Hunter Jurica. Hunter, great to get you on the show today, my friend. First off, congratulations on the recent commitment. I got to say, that's probably been of some very, very exciting news going around your household and just really the entire Derry golf program. How does it feel to finally make this decision?
It feels great. When I set out my announcement, I said it's finally announced. So, it's been in the talks for a while, and everyone's been asking me, where are you going to college? Where are you going to college? So to finally say where I'm actually going to college means a lot, especially to my coach. So.
Well, I have to ask, what led you to wanting to go to St. Francis? I mean, what was it about the program, the school that drew you to Loretto?
So we went up on a visit Friday. My official visit was Friday night to Saturday morning, and I just loved it there. I felt like home. I know, when I came home from my visit, I wanted to be back up there. I kind of missed it. So, when you have a college that feels like home, it's an easy sell, of course.
Yeah, and being able to have that feeling of, kind of the home away from home, if you will, that's always very, very hard to find as well. But what was this whole recruiting process like for you? I mean, from start to finish, and just even factoring in the COVID year as well.
I tell you what, things didn't ramp up until after the state championship last year, my junior year. After placing sixth in the state championship, I'm like, okay, maybe I could really ramp up my game and start playing some competitive golf in college. And then the senior year, I got in contact with Coach Derek Tyson at St. Francis, and we've been contacting, and I've been wanting to go there, and he's been wanting me to go there. So, towards the end of the season, after winning the Whitfield, of course, this year, he contacted me, and we went up there, had my official visit, and I know I didn't need to see any other colleges. It was it for me.
Now, how would you say the whole recruiting process for a golfer kind of differs from other athletes and just other sports as a whole?
Well, only playing one sport, I know our experiences, and it's more, we got to reach out to the coaches. It's a lot harder for them to look for us, because football and basketball, they don't really have to reach out. Their coaches are coming to them. So for golf, you got to reach out to your coach, because it's not as much as a demand to want a golfer on your team as you would a football player or basketball player. So you kind of got to reach out to your coaches and make a good connection with them, keep on texting them, and almost be annoying with them. That's what, Coach Tyson said to me. He's like, I'd always want someone to be almost annoying with me. When you think you're being too annoying, you're never being annoying enough to a coach. So.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of kind of, on your own time and a lot of your own due diligence and really having to seek out those leads, personally. But let's start from the beginning in your golf career and kind of go back to when you first picked up a set of clubs. When did you start playing golf?
Well, I first picked up a set of clubs when I was 4 years old with my dad up at my home course, Ridenour Country Club. And I played it when I was young a lot. I was always out on the golf course, always doing just little things like teeing up in the middle of the fairway and just going out there with my dad. But I kind of stopped. I played hockey until about a year before my freshman year. And then our school doesn't have a hockey program, and I was wondering what I could play, and it was golf. So I knew I was somewhat decent at golf, but right before my freshman year, that summer is when I really ramped up, and we started, me and my buddies, my three other best friends, we just went out every single day in that summer, and we just got ready for the season.
Well, with your background as a hockey player, what's that kind of, correlation with golf? I mean, did you find any similarities between the two?
The whole using this almost like a stick, and
right,
hit a ball / puck, but that's why I used to hit a hook, is because of hockey, because you flip your hands through. So that's, I don't find any correlation, but besides the hardworking, of course, every sport needs hardworking and an aspect to it. So,
was it hard to make that adjustment? I mean, I know you mentioned kind of at first, you're kind of, obviously different hand motion, right, with the swing, but did you find it to be a hard adjustment from one sport to the next?
In terms of playing a different sport, no, but getting into the aspect of me only wanting to put my focus on golf was definitely the change. More of a mental thing, more of knowing that, okay, if I want to go big in golf, and I know to do it, I need to only play golf and focus on golf. So I think that would be the change, would be mentally focusing only on golf.
Well, I know that you were very focused on a huge accomplishment that you just acquired not too long ago, WPIAL championship in golf, the first ever golfer in Derry history to claim that as well. So not only you're winning a championship, but you're the first and only one in your school's program to do that. What did it mean to you personally to capture that title, but also to the entire school and the golf program as well at Derry?
It meant, I can't even explain it. Words can't describe how I felt after winning that. It was almost like I know for the longest time as I can remember, as long as my brain stays healthy, I will be able to remember walking up 18 and putting my bag down next to my ball on my approach shot on the 18th fairway at Oakmont, hitting that approach shot and watching that ball fly and watching it hit the green and not coming off the false front. And I was just on the same level as the pin and remembering, okay, all I need to do at that point was 4-putt to win from 20 feet. So just that feeling of relief when I went up there to mark my ball, I can remember it all, watching my coaches, my family went out and hugged me after doing it. It's a memory I will never forget. And I didn't really realize how much it meant to the school and how much it meant to everyone else around me until, that night and that morning when it really all started to sink in for me.
Now, going back to that championship match, what would you say was the turning point of that day where you felt that was, you grabbed the momentum and you never let go of it?
I'll tell you what, Daniel Sethman, the kid I was paired up with, because we played in twosomes that day, he was 2 up on me after 8 holes. So we both went off that day, me and Daniel, even after Hannistown. We both shot 4 over at Hannistown. So coming off number 8, he was 2 up on me. So I knew that I needed to do something, needed to start playing a little better. I go up to 9, I birdie 9, he par 9. So going on to the back 9, I had a 1-up advantage. I mean, he had a 1-up advantage on me, and I knew it was going to be a pretty intense back 9, and we were neck and neck, back and forth, until about 16, the par 3. I was 1 up going into 16, so we're still pretty close, and he makes a triple bogey, and I made a bogey, which a bogey on the hole was not a bad bogey at all. So then I'm 3 up going on to 17. So that was I think that hole, number 16 was a huge swing. 15 and 16 were huge swing holes for me. Definitely.
Well, I know that you played on a very famous course in Oakmont, if I'm not mistaken, and I would love to hear I'm sure that goes way up there in one of your favorite courses to play on, but what are some other courses that you've played on that have really been a highlight and you would say are your favorites?
I tell you what, Oakmont is just, when I think about all the courses I've played a lot of nice golf courses, but just Oakmont just takes it all. I mean, that course was as pure can get, and it almost felt like heaven walking on those fairways. Nothing will be better than Oakmont.
What would you say is your favorite hole, or was your favorite hole at Oakmont?
Wow, all of them. I can remember every single one as easily as the next. I think every single hole there is just amazing. But I think number 1's a nice hole. Starting off, going right down that hill and seeing your first green, and the first green being a green that runs so far away from you, and it really kind of puts you right in that Oakmont instantly, would be number 1. So either number 1 or all of them. They're so nice.
Yeah, you hear all sorts of just wonderful things about it. And, for a lot of us, it's kind of, you're hearing it from the outside. So having someone right here with me that has been on the inside, it's kind of like you get the inside scoop a little bit. But obviously, you have a lot of your favorite courses, but I'm sure you have maybe a favorite club that you swing with. So what would you say is a favorite club you swing with, and why?
Depends the day, is what I always say. I'm a really good iron player. I'm not a big kid at all, so I don't really hit it far off the tee. But I can usually hit a green from a lot of places that you wouldn't expect someone to hit a green. So it would be my irons, not any specific irons, but probably my irons. Or I tell you what, when I played Oakmont, my driver was my weapon. I was hitting every fairway, and I was out driving Daniel by a large margin on certain holes. So I think it all depends on the day. I like the driver, but if the driver's not working, I'd say my irons.
Now, in terms of just the overall sport of golf, right? I think a lot of people that don't play it or don't really know much about it, they kind of look at it and say, why would anyone be fascinated by that? So for you, what is a common misconception about the sport of golf that you wish people, didn't believe or they had a different thinking of?
That golf is easy. I hear that a lot. Of course, golf is super easy to play, right? Anyone can go out there and play golf as long as you have a set of clubs and a little bit of money and just go out there and, buy a round of golf and go out and play. But to be good at golf consistently is probably one of the hardest things in sports. You gotta put so much work in, and as soon as you think you got something going, it's all gone the next day. You can wake up and you could think you're swinging the exact same and play 10 times worse. So I think it's to be really good at golf consistently.
Yeah, I think that, the premise of golf, right? You look at it, it's like, oh, okay, you're not hitting an object in movement, so it can't be that hard, right? And then you do it and you realize it's actually way harder than what many people realize. But I know that you also play with a very unique piece of clothing. It's a hat, if I'm not mistaken, a bucket hat. I would love to know what the significance of the bucket hat is and kind of just what the story is behind that.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, going into my, I'd say junior year, I tried out, I was just trying hats, and all of a sudden, we had this white bucket hat at first, and I put it on, and I started wearing it a little bit, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool, right? It was different. I wanted to be a little different on the golf course where, if you look out on a golf course now, you look at everyone, they would all kind of look the same. But when you would look out on the golf course and you see me in my bucket hat, they kind of a little bit of a symbol almost. So going into my junior year, I found this tan bucket hat, as you could probably see in all the pictures with me in it. And I just started wearing it. And now I wear it most rounds of golf and most tournament rounds. And yeah, I just started wearing it and it felt comfortable. And it kind of gave me sort of a way of people of knowing me, because it's kind of hard to just look at someone's face and be like, oh, you're him, right? But now people ask me, like, are you the kid that wear the bucket hat? So it's always cool to see that. It kind of just gives me almost like a symbol for myself and be a little different on the golf course.
Would you say that you're going to get yourself a red one when you go to Loretto?
Have not talked to Coach Tyson about it. I definitely will want to wear a bucket hat when I play up there, of course, as long as it's not cold. Of course, I wear a beanie if it's cold. But when I go up to Loretto and I start playing in some tournaments, I think we're definitely going to talk about getting a bucket hat, maybe a custom one that I can wear that will have a little bit of red in it, maybe a little bit of black and white for St. Francis. So
I love it. I love it. You got to have it. You got to keep the trend going, my friend.
Yes.
You got to keep the trend going. And you can't, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But with the winter season obviously right around the corner, right? And I know with today, absolutely gross weather, right? So golf probably is not going to be, something you're going to be able to do probably all the time, I'm assuming, in the wintertime. So what does kind of the winter months look like for you, and just in terms of, your golf game? What are you working on, and what do you really try and emphasize on during those months?
So as you can see behind me, that is a golf simulator in our garage. So this will be where I will be hitting and getting some things ironed out. But I'm not really going to be changing much. I know people like to change their swings in the wintertime, but I really felt that my swing was where I wanted it to be towards the end of the season. So I just come out here maybe after school and just hit a good amount of balls, but don't really change anything. Just keep my swing the same throughout the season and see where it takes me in the springtime. So I'm just going to try and keep my swing as level as possible, not change too much, and keep on swinging in the winter.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I think that's a great plan to have, my friend. And again, Hunter, thanks so much for stopping by. Before we let you go, I just want to hear, what is something that you want to accomplish this final season at Derry before you head off to St. Francis?
I tell you what, season's over. So in terms of the spring season, when tournaments start rolling around, I want to start winning more. So yeah, I want to start winning more in the summer right before I go to college.
Hey, I think that's a great plan, my friend. And I wish you nothing but luck, as well as Derry and St. Francis golf in the future. So again, thanks so much for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of the month of November, and really until you graduate and you head off to St. Francis.
Thank you.